Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, coming to you live from Hollywood, California, and Boston.
Wow. Wow, Cruz. You just buried Boston.
Wait, let me start over.
I'm going to call you Triple H.
Let me start over. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, coming to you live from Hollywood, California, and Boston, Massachusetts. We've got here with you right now, Cruz the Crusher and Vance, not the Violator.
Vance, the former Violator. Vance, the acquitted Violator.
Vance, we don't want to start rumors, bro.
Oh man.
You know?
Oh, Cruz. It has been a week.
It's been quite a week.
The weather here is terrible. The sports entertainment this week was terrible. This is just Mercury's in retrograde. All my shit's fucking up.
My gosh.
It's just been a week, Cruz.
You really did just say that Mercury's in retrograde.
Cruz, I don't know what it is, but after dating a witch for so long, you start to believe some of this shit because shit happens around certain times of the moon cycles. And Mercury being in retrograde basically just means like all your electronic shit gets fucked up.
He literally just said he dated a witch.
Well, I mean, I didn't know she was a witch until I bought her a cauldron. I ignored all the blood rituals, and the cauldron was some fucking tipper.
Careful, Vance. Did she get a strand of your hair when you guys broke up?
Actually, I don't think we should talk about this anymore since the last time I talked about a girl on a podcast did not go so swimmingly.
And on that note,
moving right along. This week in sports entertainment. Cruz, that shirt is fucking awesome.
Yes, because, Tarantino's 9th film, Vance, is coming soon to a theater near you called Once a Time. And remember, they were filming that movie when we were, I think, weren't we still living together?
When we were in Hollywood.
We were living in Hollywood together?
Yep.
Yeah.
They had all the classic cars and shit.
Hell yeah. Yep.
I remember that. Good old 1960s Hollywood, right down the street.
Hollywood. I finally saw the trailer for the first time in the theater last night when I went to go see Us.
Oh, that was so dope. I watched it on an iPad. Not as good.
Oh my God. So yes.
Also, I'm glad with this attire, it looks like you're turning around on the whole Becky Lynch thing. So I'd like to say I'm glad that you're wearing that.
Okay, see, I didn't think this through when I wore this top. And I realized that this could easily be misinterpreted as me, changing my mind on the whole Becky Lynch thing. And I have to say here, Vance, you're wrong.
Not the first time. I'm gonna turn you around, Cruz. By WrestleMania, you'll have a fucking "I'm the man" shirt.
No, listen. Remember, I was for the man. Remember when she got her face fucked up by Nia Jax? I was like all about it. Remember? I was like, oh, yeah, the shirt that has her fucking bloody face and da da da. I don't know. It just kind of grew stale for me. But anyways, we'll see if you can change my mind, Vance. We'll see if you can change my mind. But let's get right into it because I was highly disappointed with a lot of the shit that went down. In fact, Vance, if I remember correctly, we spoke on Tuesday night or Wednesday. I can't remember. And you legit told me that you were depressed.
I did. I was very depressed.
I'm right there with you, bud. Because, goddamn. Let's just start with Raw, shall we? Should we start with Monday Night Raw?
If we have to.
Because, they we've already talked about the storyline, what's going on with Ronda and Becky and Charlotte and how it's just kind of
hold on.
It's a clusterfuck.
Let's take it from the top. Because the beginning of Raw was actually pretty good.
Well,
Like Rollins going crazy.
That's where I was getting at. You didn't let me finish. I was saying, what I was gonna say was that with all that going on, and then there's really not much attention being put on Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, right? And that's what that was my lead-in. God damn it!
That was a great lead-in. That was a great lead-in.
Lead-in. But go on. Since you already fucking interrupted me, why don't you go ahead and finish, Vance?
I thought, listen, first of all, Heyman's a god. Heyman is just brilliant, and he'll never do wrong with me.
Okay, go on.
But I think Rollins coming out and with that chair on McIntyre and doing those are like Triple H Cactus Jack chair shots. Did you see that chair? Yeah. Like, you don't see people get fucked up like that anymore. So I was excited. I was fired up. Yeah, the Beast Slayer, kick the psychopath's ass. So it was a great start to Raw. And then what happened, Cruz? That's exactly what happened.
Go on.
Dude, it was just they started off that so hot, man. And then so I watch Raw live pretty much every week. And this is the first Raw in a long time that I got up to make nachos and took my time.
I started playing Fortnite.
Oh, you turned it off completely then.
No. I have two okay. I have I have two television sets literally right next to each other. So that if I'm feeling
like a high school LAN party.
Exactly, except really big. Giggity. And I sometimes I like to put wrestling on in the background while I play video games. And this was one of those moments where I was just kind of like, is this really what's happening on Monday Night Raw right now? So I just powered on fucking Fortnite and was kind of trying to pay attention to both because I was that disconnected, I guess is the word to use, Vance. Would you say that you were also disconnected? I mean, enough to be
disinterested. Yeah. Just disinterested, bored. I stared at my nachos in the microwave instead of watching these terrible segments. Yeah. So let's go over it, Cruz. Let's dive in. Let's do your patented Cruz recap.
So it was very brief what happened in the beginning, right? Like the whole Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Scottish psychopath. I always do that accent wrong, but anyways. Okay. Then Kurt Angle comes out and has an announcement, Vance.
Cruz.
Kurt Angle finally made an announcement on who he's going to fight at WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all, Vance.
In his farewell match.
Yeah.
In his last match ever.
Yes. In his last match ever before he retires, Kurt Angle. Fucking the Olympian, man. Come on. Fucking.
The Olympic hero. He won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah. This motherfucker is retiring. And his final match at WrestleMania, he makes the announcement, is going to be against my least favorite wrestler, Vance.
Everyone's least favorite wrestler.
I think everyone's least favorite wrestler. I don't even know if you want to put the word favorite in there. You know what I mean? Like, just, Baron Corbin.
Unfucking believable. Maybe Kurt Angle, the night before, was at Applebee's. He saw the maitre d', and he was like, you know who I should fight at WrestleMania? Somebody who looks like this guy. I'm really, really hoping that it's a swerve, but Dave Meltzer said on his show, this is not a swerve. They did not plan on swerving. They've been building this Kurt Angle Baron Corbin thing for a while. I mean, no one's really been paying attention to it, but they've been building it for a while, and this is supposed to be his legitimate last opponent ever. So it obviously means that fucking Corbin's got to go over, right?
Does he really, though, Vance? Does he need to go over? Can't we just continue? Can't we just continue hating Baron Corbin like we just have been?
Do you think that this is going to be what happens, or do you think we're going to get swerved?
I'd like to believe that we're getting swerved, but I mean, how do we get swerved, right? We think that it's going to be Baron Corbin, and then something happens. Do you think that? I feel like if they are going to swerve us, the best way to swerve us is to piss us off by telling us, oh yeah, Baron Corbin's going to be his last fight.
All right, you mean the Kofi fucking move?
Oh,
fucking,
boy.
that's what they're doing that with every match this year. So like, I'm really hoping that John Cena comes
out. Understand. So I put out a poll on our Twitter page at Going Over Pod, asking the Going Over universe, who do they miss most on the road to WrestleMania, right? Because, you know, The Undertaker, who we pretty much, you know.
Yeah, every year. He's been a staple.
Every year. And then there's really nothing. And then there's that whole thing with him, like, changing his Twitter bio, removing WWE and all this other shit, and haven't really heard anything from him. And then you have John Cena, which coincidentally, they both fought each other last year. If you even want to call that fight.
I would say they interacted with each other. I would say it was an interaction.
They corresponded with each other.
Dude, WrestleMania was so fucked last year.
Yeah, but anyways, in my poll, I basically asked everybody, who do they miss the most? You know, The Undertaker was one option, John Cena is the other option, and then the third option, somebody else, and then I had the Going Over universe tell us who they miss seeing on the road to WrestleMania. So we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. And the reason for that is because, you know, you think of WrestleMania, Undertaker, man, you know what I mean?
Yep.
We haven't really heard anything. And Cena as well. And we haven't really seen or heard anything from either of them. You know, the last thing that we know about The Undertaker is that on his Twitter bio, he's become a free agent. He removed WWE superstar on his bio. I haven't checked since then, but the last time we looked into it, that's what his bio says, right?
And he's doing a lot of out of kayfabe stuff. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, so
he's doing like interviews with like religious people and fucking he's all over his wife's like Snapchat making jokes. Like it's weird to see The Undertaker being a person.
Okay, wait a minute. Did you just say he's on his wife's Snapchat making jokes?
Yeah. On what's it? Michelle McCool has a like I don't follow her on Snapchat because I'm an adult. I don't use Snapchat. But I've seen the post. And it's like him on an airplane, like making jokes and shit. And I'm like, dude, you're not Mark Calloway. You're The Undertaker.
That's fucking hilarious,
yeah.
Dude.
But the reason here, going back to this Baron Corbin thing. So Kurt Angle was John Cena's first feud when John Cena arrived in WWE. So I think it would be a really great ending to John Cena to put out Kurt Angle to pasture, you know?
Huh.
But instead we get fucking Baron, dude, he's so bad. He's so bad.
So what do you think's gonna happen? If you think that if they're trying to throw us a curve, do you think that like,
dude, there's gonna be so many curves.
John Cena's gonna come out instead?
I think something's gonna happen with Cena. He's on the WrestleMania truck. So is The Undertaker.
So is the Demon King. Does that mean we're gonna see the Demon King as opposed to Finn, like we discussed last week?
I think we'll get the Demon King. I think the Demon King will win. I think you're gonna do some kind of crazy, you do like a crazy ladder match or something for the IC title. I think it'll be something like that. And Demon King wins that. Because they haven't really announced too many. Like, what's officially announced for WrestleMania? Rollins and Lesnar, the triple threat, Corbin and Angle.
Corbin and Angle. We have Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky. We have The Miz and Shane McMahon. We have AJ Styles and Randy Orton. God, what else do we have?
The tag titles, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Speaking of, I mean, nothing really else happened on Raw, Vance. I mean, you had Finn and Braun team up against Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush.
Dude, what happened to Braun? Let's talk about the fucking death of Braun Strowman.
Really makes me that's depressing to me, Vance. Because
how do you take a guy that's such a monster? He's a monster. And they're ruining this guy. I really can't wait for the superstar shakeup thing. And we get some SmackDown guys and Raw guys.
Yeah, they really need to shake it up. It's time to shake things up, bro.
Like, it'd be great, like Strowman versus AJ Styles. Strowman versus Daniel Bryan. He'd be great on SmackDown.
Yeah, that'd be great. He'd be great. He'd be great. So there's really nothing else notable that happened on Raw, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Some
here.
stuff that heard some stuff happen after they went off air, you know, like with Ambrose showing up. But other than that, nothing really. And you just mentioned, well, I guess Beth Phoenix is coming out of retirement.
Why?
I don't know how I feel about that, but you know,
it's just I don't know that Team MILF versus fucking the Boston Hug Connection.
Team MILF, that's hilarious. But speaking of the Boston Hug Connection, let's just go into SmackDown because Raw,
yes,
Raw and SmackDown this week was just kind of, you know. So SmackDown, now because we're on the topic of the women's tag, right?
Yes.
Boston Hug show up to SmackDown, and they go up against the Iconics, not in a title match. Thank God it wasn't a title match.
Let's talk about how great Peyton Royce is.
Let's talk about how they cheated, Vance.
But they're great. They're great heels. Like, they're really good. Like, you really hate. They're mean girls. It's perfect to go up against fucking Miss Anti-Bully Hugger bullshit. Like, I'm just waiting for them to yell at them and be like, you can't sit with us. Like the Iconics are just so fucking good at what they do. And I really hope they get the tag titles.
I don't know. I guess their voices and their gimmick annoy me. But anyways.
But that's their job. They're heels, Cruz.
I know that's their job,
They're eliciting a reaction.
Anywho, what about KO and the KO show, huh?
Dude, I don't know about this face Kevin Owens guy.
KO, I mean, he's always great on the mic, but I feel like that segment felt very flat.
Very flat.
Very, very, very flat. He's great. I seriously just said that Kevin Owens is great. He's the man of the mic. But that segment completely fell flat to me. You know, like, oh, here are my guests, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. And it's just, the whole thing was just kind of, why? You know?
It's just, they're force feeding us now this.
Yeah, they're just force feeding it down our throats. But let's get to the best part of SmackDown. I mean, I don't know if I want to call it the best part, but the more exciting thing. No, not even exciting.
I would say it was exciting. I was rooting.
Okay, yeah, it was exciting. It's just the outcome was.
Oh, it's still WWE we're talking about.
Well, so anyways, you know, we got Kofi Kingston again in another gauntlet match. We already fucking saw him in a gauntlet match. Let's just do it again, right?
Dude, can we talk about how great a worker he is, though?
Dude, that he was in that match. That was like an hour. That whole fucking thing was like an hour.
55 minutes, Cruz.
That thing was like a fucking hour. An hour.
The guy is a workhorse. I didn't think he was that great. Like, he's an amazing worker.
No, he totally is. We already saw that. I mean, I fucking saw that in the first gauntlet match that he fucking participated in when Mustafa was out, right?
Yep.
So let's see. Let's go down the list because it's a different gauntlet match than the first one that we saw him in. So it was Cesaro,
the bar,
Sheamus, the bar. Who else was in that?
Samoa Joey, our buddy.
Samoa Joey was in it.
Randy Orton.
Who was the fifth?
Rowan.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you know, fun fact, Vance. I heard a rumor.
Ooh.
Heard a rumor. This is all, you know, rumor, Vance. You know, Lars Sullivan.
Okay.
You know, he's been kind of MIA. You know, he had an anxiety attack or whatever. Rumor has it that he originally was supposed to be Daniel Bryan's bodyguard.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Not Rowan. Yeah.
Dude, that makes so much sense.
And now
Rowan just looks like a guy who fixes bikes. I can't get past it.
No, for sure. But let's say this rumor is true. If the rumor is true that, like, Lars was originally supposed to be his bodyguard, dude, like,
what a great push for Lars.
That would have been like that. That would have been a great push for Lars, yes. But goddamn,
you would have got some like Shawn Michaels and Diesel kind of shit going on.
But also, if that is true, if that really is true, if that rumor is true, what must it feel like to be Lars right now? Because we haven't heard anything or seen. I'm wondering how WWE is treating this. Like, are they, work on your mental health and come back? Are they giving
feel like
him
they
some
have
time
to.
off?
I think since the Mauro Ranallo incident, with the mental health thing, I think they're a lot more accommodating with this kind of thing. So I think they're, because don't forget too that he was also slated to be at WrestleMania against John Cena.
Right.
So this guy had a rocket strapped to him.
That's why when I heard this rumor, I was like, "Fuck, dude," And I could see him as being like DB's fucking muscle.
Yeah, he found this guy in the woods.
Because Daniel Bryan is like so little. He doesn't seem like it, but he is. He's really short. Daniel Bryan.
He's
not
short.
that
He's
tall.
always been short.
He's not that tall.
Do you not like him because he's short?
No, actually, I like the Planet's champion. I love heel Daniel Bryan, and I definitely love this version of Daniel Bryan being the Planet. Like, just the way that one fight that he did a couple of SmackDowns ago, where he's all like, "You two idiots," just the way he said that, I fucking died. I was like, this fucking guy. But no, I totally love. I love this Daniel Bryan that we have right now. But
the new Daniel Bryan.
The new Daniel Bryan. But anyways, so let's get back to this. So there's the gauntlet match, right? Yep. Fucking already knew what was going to happen. Yeah, Kofi's going to come out victorious, right? Which he did.
Right.
And out comes Mr. McMahon.
Donald Trump. Vince McMahon.
So out comes Mr. McMahon, and he actually has a smile on his face, and he's like congratulatory. He's like, "Congratulations, Kofi. Congratulations, Kofi. You're going to WrestleMania." And you're like, "Oh my God." I knew something was up, though, just by the demeanor of Vince McMahon himself, okay? Just his demeanor coming out there, smiling and being like, "Oh, congratulations, we're going to WrestleMania." I was like, but I literally said it out loud. I was like, but, because I knew there was going to be a but, Vance, okay?
Yep.
And that big but was, if you can beat this next person, and then out comes Captain Planet. Captain Planet comes out, and I knew, I was like, "Oh, here we go. Here we go, Vance." And what happened, Vance? Why don't you tell the people listening and are watching?
Captain Planet hit the knee, and 1, 2, 3, Kofi's dreams are dashed for WrestleMania yet again.
Yeah.
So where do you think they're going with this, Cruz?
I don't know. It's really starting to get on my nerves.
But I mean, obviously Kofi's going to WrestleMania, right?
No, and he's well over with the fans, dude. You know what I mean? Like, Kofi Mania is in full effect. Let's just put it that way. I agree. Kofi Mania has been and still is in full effect. And this whole Vince McMahon, like, whatever angle, okay, Vance, honestly, be honest. What angle do you think they're going with this whole thing? This Vince Kofi thing, like.
Dude, they're doing the exact same thing Triple H did to Daniel Bryan. Kofi's probably going to compete in a match at WrestleMania. And then later on, if he beats that guy, he can carry it. Like, they're going to do a gauntlet match basically at WrestleMania. That's what I'm thinking. Because this is look at the card. There's not a lot of matches announced. This is a 7-hour fucking show.
It's fucking long. Yeah.
So there's got to be a lot more matches to be announced. So I think that if they put Kofi in this multiple match bullshit again.
Well, especially because I feel like they keep showcasing that already. Like, look at how fucking far he can go. The first gauntlet match that he did, he was in that match for like almost an hour or two. And then this one, 55 minutes. So it's like, are they going to do something wild and crazy similar to that at WrestleMania? Like, okay, you're going to have to
do you want to see that at WrestleMania?
Not really. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. No, I've already seen it twice. Like, dude, I was even annoyed that they were doing a second one. I'm like, we already saw this shit, dude. We already watched him kick ass in the first gauntlet match that you put him through, and we have to see it again. So, like, what was this whole thing at the end? Like, oh, we're gonna like throw a little curve there at the end. Like, what the fuck, dude? So
and it's like, how many times WWE gonna go to this well of this Daniel Bryan underdog thing. Are they literally going to just repeat WrestleMania 30 where he competes in a match and then he competes in another match? And it's just like, they did this before, but they did it with Daniel Bryan. So maybe they're trying to do this whole juxtapose.
Yeah, because like, oh, right now Daniel Bryan's the current champ, and then Kofi. And then you keep hearing like from the New Day, and Kofi himself too, but like the way they're phrasing, like the verbiage that they're using with the words that they're like choosing to say, like, oh, people like us.
Yep.
What?
There's a lot of racial tension.
But I mean, is it a racial thing, or are they trying to are they alluding that it could be a racial thing? I mean, like Vince McMahon obviously isn't a racist, or is he?
Well, I mean, he's best friends with Donald Trump. His wife is in the Trump cabinet. I'm sure he owns several "Make America Great Again" hats.
I thought R-Truth was.
I don't think he's a racist.
I thought R-Truth was like his best friend.
R-Truth, listen, Vince is not a racist. Vince McMahon's not a racist, but Mr. McMahon could be.
See, I don't think Vince McMahon is a racist either, especially considering how he's like a really big, like he's huge on like Martin Luther King Day and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's starting a football league.
And okay, anyways, but I mean, with the way that they keep saying guys like us, it's like, okay, are they trying to kind of allude with their choice of words? You know what I mean?
Right.
Are they trying to make it make the audience wonder? Okay, is this a racially?
They're definitely playing on it. I mean, now that's the climate.
Because they could easily mean, Vance, if they're saying something like, oh, guys like us, do they mean, oh, because we're just a tag division, or we're part of the tag division, we're tag team guys, you know what I mean? We're entertainers, you know what I mean? Because if you think about it, the New Day, you know how many times I've made fun of the New Day, first of all? Them and their fucking pancakes and shit. Like, they're goofy, you know what I mean?
Right.
So they could easily mean that. I don't know. But
I mean, here's what I would love to happen. What if on the next SmackDown, the New Day comes out in full like Nation of Domination fucking gear and and they bring out like Shelton Benjamin with them and like a few other African American guys, and they all come out.
When did he fight? Didn't he fight recently?
He just fought it. He fought oh fuck! He answered one of the challenges. Oh, R-Truth. Was it R-Truth?
No. Who was it? R-Truth?
I think it was R-Truth. I don't know. We just saw him on SmackDown, right?
That's what we saw him on Raw. I thought
Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, because I remember specifically commentary saying, oh, Shelton Benjamin from SmackDown.
Maybe you're right. But anyways, Shelton Benjamin is still employed by the company. So he'd be a great, because here's the other thing. Fox wants an edgy product. They've already said it. They want an edgy product. Mm-hmm. So maybe these are like planting seeds to get out of this PG era bullshit and fucking start getting some fucking storylines to center around the shit that's happening in the world.
That's true.
I think
when does that switch happen, Vance? The whole switch to
fall.
Fox.
They're already advertising it on Fox.
Oh my god. Okay.
This fall.
Dang.
SmackDown. It's Friday nights. It moves to Friday nights.
So we still have Raw on Monday nights. Raw
on Monday, SmackDown Friday.
On USA. Dang! So that means we gotta wait like a whole week, basically.
I know, Cruz. We gotta figure that out.
It's gonna be Friday nights. Mondays, Raw. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, NXT. And then,
maybe Tuesday, AEW.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Yeah, it kind of does suck that it's not until Friday.
I guess technically we're only waiting a weekend, so it's almost kind of like Friday SmackDown, then Saturday, Sunday is the weekend, and then Monday is Raw. But still, that's kind of a weird, because when there's what happens when there's a pay-per-view? So now you've got SmackDown on Friday, and then the pay-per-view, and then Monday Raw.
Monday.
I don't know.
It's kind of weird. Friday. Yeah, it's a little weird. But I mean, I think they're pushing this really edgy storyline of this fucking. I don't even know. It's got to be Kofi Mania. It has to be, right? I mean, you don't build this much hype naturally and build this much fucking heat naturally. Like, he has never been over like this, and it all be because of an accident.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
And remember in the beginning, I mentioned this on the show. I know for a fact I mentioned this on the show when the Kofi thing first started. When Mustafa Ali was injured, excuse me, I had mentioned on the show, like, I wonder how they decide who's going to replace who in the event that they can't compete, right? Like, is there just a list where they're like,
yeah, where did
okay,
Kofi come from?
And I remember mentioning this on the show a couple of episodes back. We're like, who made that decision? And did they already have him on a list? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm curious how shit works in WWE office. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's the talent department or the writers room or whatever, like, who makes that final decision? Do they not even have a list?
Vance.
Maybe they don't have a list.
Dude, they could have a list fucking 30 names deep, and then Vince will be like, nah, you know what, give me Kofi.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious. I'm curious how
like,
shit fucking works out. Because if you think about it, like, to make that decision, you know, him being part of the New Day and, you know, not really doing much of anything other than that, like, who came up with that decision? Like, you know, how about Kofi? Like, why not Xavier Woods? Why not Biggie? You know what I mean? Like, who came up with that plan? I don't know. It's very interesting to me. Like, I'm curious. Because you have to be prepared, especially because every Monday, every Tuesday, you have a live show, right? And then not even counting the house shows and all that other shit. But like I feel like they have to be prepared at all times because anything can happen. You know, someone could get injured at a house show, and then, well, fuck, what do we do on Monday? You know, like what happened with. Oh man, let's talk about NXT now because. I think 100% NXT outshined Raw and SmackDown this week.
What else is new? And the sky is blue, Cruz.
You know what? I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now, Vance. Saw a really sad tweet. Okay. So Tommaso Ciampa. Okay, Vance. I'm gonna read to you a post that he had posted. On his Twitter, he basically tweeted, "A small piece of meat died tonight. The greatest 237 days of my life." And it's a picture of him kissing the belt, as you can see here.
Goldie.
Yeah. And yeah, like 237-day reign, and he's forced to relinquish it because of a neck injury. And mind you, or allow me to remind you, excuse me, let me rephrase. He had the same neck surgery that, you know, like Paige, I think, had the same. Edge, Stone Cold.
So, yep. It's all the same thing.
So
where they fuse that bone.
He's going to be out for a while.
They said a year to 14 months.
He's going to be out for a while, a long while. So...
After he just came back.
After he just came back from another injury. So it's like it's gotta suck to be.
Did you see the thing they did on NXT where he went to the surgery and they were talking about like his other injuries, and they showed, I think it was one of the it was a takeover. I think it was TakeOver New York, where Johnny Gargano power bombed him onto the cement. Do you remember that?
I remember that. Yeah, go ahead. Go on.
Dude, watching that and then hearing this neck doctor talk about fucking the shit that he's been through, it was like, dude, this guy leaves it all out there. Like, he is an amazing sports entertainer. He is, I would say, one of the best sports entertainers.
Oh, remember, Vance, when we did our best of 2018, you and I both chose Tommaso Ciampa as the best wrestler of NXT. So
absolutely,
that says a lot as far as, like, you know, he goes. But it's really sad. And so Triple H they opened NXT this week with Triple H coming out with another one of his long ass fucking promos.
Oh God, this guy.
And excuse me, basically explains the whole situation and how we have to decide who is going to be the one to go up against Johnny Gargano for the NXT title. So, Vance, they decided to do a fatal 5-way to figure out who that lucky person might be. So in that match that we watched, so good, by the way, holy shit. We had
amazing.
former NXT champ Aleister Black.
Yep.
We had former North American champs Ricochet and Adam Cole, baby. Current North American champ, the Velveteen Dream.
So good.
And finally, we have the bro.
The original bro.
The original bro. I feel like I need to like bro. Matt Riddle, bro. Watch how he like kicked his flippy floppy.
Dude, that's his thing. I saw Riddle in a fucking gymnasium in like some small town out here, and fucking this guy, dude, he's just the most fun guy. He's just he goes to everybody in the crowd. He's just a good guy, and fucking. I'm not a big fan of the barefoot thing. Are you like that kind of feet?
I'm not a fan.
A little bit.
Well, do you remember what happened with fucking Cassius Ohno and he fucking put his foot in his mouth?
Even when Ricochet goes to pin him and his foot's in his face, I'm like, oh, that's so gross. That's so gross. Just stop doing that.
Yeah, and then Adam Cole. Actually, at one point, Adam Cole fucking stomped on his foot in this match. But
great heel move. Yeah, dude, this match was incredible.
Dude, it was great.
This match was incredible.
Dude, the match was great. And oh my god, when all of them were up on the ropes and then they oh my god.
Dude,
oh my god.
How about fucking Ricochet Hurricane Ronnering the Dream to the outside into fucking Cole and Black?
Oh yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah.
That was insane. Dude,
everything
that match was so fucking good.
And it wasn't even
Adam Cole is Shawn Michaels, by the way. Shawn Michaels.
I was just gonna say everything about Adam Cole, baby, is very, very, very Shawn Michaels. You know, those
he was yelling at the refs to count.
That fucking sweet chin music. That's like he does a lot of super kicks, man. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Adam Cole. Yep. Adam Cole. Every time he does that, it reminds me. He totally reminds me of Shawn Michaels. And a lot of those wrestlers do that move, but Adam Cole is very, very like reminiscent, I guess is the word.
It's the hair. I think it's the hair. It does like this hair flip and the kick at the same time.
Yeah, but even just everything about him, like just his and you know, it's funny. It's interesting because when you think about
sexy boy swag.
Is it? Yeah, I'm not your boy toy. Sorry, I'm not your boy toy.
Wait, did you see the meme of the McDonald's that had the sign that said "No boy toys"? It had sad Shawn Michaels.
Sad Shawn Michaels. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because Shawn Michaels trains a lot of the guys at NXT. And you know what's even more interesting? It's funny that we're talking about Adam Cole kind of being like a Shawn Michaels type, because a friend of mine that used to watch wrestling as a kid, he doesn't really keep up to date with what's happening currently now. And I happen to be, you know how, okay, full disclosure, I like to watch wrestling while I'm at work at the office sometimes. If my boss is listening, sorry. But my assistant came in and I happened to be watching NXT that happened to have a match with Adam Cole. Actually, I was rewatching the ladder match from last year's TakeOver.
TakeOver?
Okay.
Yeah.
And he saw Adam Cole and he was just like, is that fucking Shawn Michaels? It's like another Shawn Michaels. So it's very interesting that you made that comment just now because he really is kind of like Shawn Michaels, you know? Super kicks and all that other shit. Yeah. But what was I gonna say? And then of course, who came out victorious, Vance?
Adam Cole, baby.
From the Undisputed Era. Representing the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, baby.
Do you think that at TakeOver, because remember, Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano advanced in the Dusty Finals against the Undisputed Era. Do you think they give that spot back to the Undisputed Era? And now we have an opportunity to maybe see the Undisputed Era win all the gold?
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. Wait. So that's something that I was unaware of because I know for a fact that because Tommaso, well, okay, DIY, let's just say.
They didn't address
DIY, it. They didn't address it. So then, so if Tommaso's out and they've moved up, so what do you think is going to happen? What did you just say is going to happen, Vance?
Well, they fought the Undisputed Era.
Right.
So maybe they give it to the Undisputed Era.
So you think that rather than have DIY move up, or rather than replace Tommaso Ciampa, you think that they're just going to be like, okay, well, you guys are out. Undisputed is back in?
Maybe.
I mean, I would love to see
a
that.
Lot of shit.
I would love to see that. You know how I feel about the Undisputed Era, Vance. So
there's a lot of people who would have like done double duty at this fucking. Like, it's weird when you have a tag team and a singles competitor, and the whole Ricochet, Aleister Black thing. Like, I'm still not really.
It still weirds me out. Oh, which, by the way, I totally forgot to mention this part, but we finally saw Ricochet in a singles match. You know, after having seen him constantly just double team with Black, he fought Jinder Mahal, which Jinder Mahal's massive next to Ricochet. But anywho, but no, I totally agree with you on that. Like, it's such a weird pairing.
It's just I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
So what do you think's gonna happen
with the Dusty Cup, or are you talking about with
Adam Cole and Gargano?
Oh, I mean, I definitely don't think I like both of them as wrestlers, and I think that they're gonna put on a really good match at TakeOver. But as far as who's gonna win, that's a really good question, because let's look at this for a minute, Vance. If Gargano wins, that means
he's staying in NXT.
Yeah, because I forgot that he lost the North American title to
go up to the main roster.
And to Velveteen. But now that Ciampa's out, I just don't foresee Gargano going to the roster by himself.
Do you think Gargano's going to win the title finally? I don't really want to see him win that title against anyone except for Ciampa.
Yeah, and that was the match that we were all waiting for, Vance.
Yep.
The match that we were all waiting for. So that's why it's kind of sad. It's like really sad, dude. We're not going to see that now. All that build up, all of that emotion, all of like being emotionally invested in that storyline. I mean, how many times have I like complained on this show, Vance, about how like the story, and we're talking before this whole Becky Lynch thing, before any of this shit.
Way
before any of this shit. I've constantly talked on this show about how like just the writing in NXT is so much better, and that storyline dates back so far back.
They would have headlined
before this Becky Lynch thing.
TakeOver Brooklyns in a row. They would have headlined.
Yeah. And like the emotional investment that I've put myself into this storyline, only to have it be, oh yeah, by the way, it's not happening now.
Yep.
So it's really sad. It's really, really sad. But who do I want to see win? Honestly,
I want to see Cole, I think.
I want to see Cole fucking take that belt, man. I want to see him fucking win, to be honest.
I want to see like a cocky, like a heel, a Shawn Michaels fucking champion. You know?
Yeah.
I think it'd be great. They also announced at TakeOver New York that for the female title, it's going to be Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai versus Kairi Sane versus Bianca Belair.
Oh, shit.
What are your thoughts on this?
Oh boy. That's an interesting fight. It's a fatal 4-way, right?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I mean, once upon a time, Kairi was the champ.
Yep.
So it could be possible, but you've got two other players fighting, against her as well. And we all know how Bianca Belair has a fucking bone to pick because, she was undefeated.
Oh, God. I knew you were going to fucking do that.
I hate that shit, too. It's so annoying. I had to, though, if I'm talking about Bianca Belair.
What do they call it? The EST? The EST, right?
Yes, the EST of NXT, which, Do you even know what that stands for, Vance?
I have no fucking idea. I was hoping that you would explain it.
Okay, good. Because I was hoping you would, because I still don't know. Because, I think EST, I'm like, established? Established what? In what year? You know what I mean? Like EST, 1984, established in 1984. But no, she keeps talking about how she's the EST event. Okay, now we have to look this up, Vance. Okay.
Should we hit the Google?
Let's hit the googly Googles here.
What does the EST?
Okay, you look it up, because
of
NXT. It's gonna be something really stupid. Watch, we're gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, we're gonna be idiots. Watch this.
Gonna be like, well.
What does EST stand? There's a big forum thread. Greatest, fastest, strongest. And then someone wrote greenest, shittiest.
Wait a minute. I think I remember reading about this before.
Best, fastest, greatest. So she's all the ESTs.
I get it. I think I remember reading about that now. Now that you're reading it out loud, I'm like, oh, I think I might have.
One guy goes, I thought it stood for extra special talent. And that's an extra special person.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I think that they're going to take the belt off Shayna, and Shayna's one of the main roster.
I mean, do you think it's time? I mean, it's been like, what, 2 years? Has it been 2 years?
But they're not really doing a lot with the horsewomen. You notice that?
Well, that's my point. Like, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke, I don't, like, okay, first of all, we haven't really been seeing that much of them.
Hold on. News. We have news. I forgot about this. There's a news item about the horsewomen. So apparently, Marina Shafir is going to the Undisputed Era.
Which makes sense. Her husband is in the Undisputed Era.
But does that kill the whole MMA horsewomen thing?
So wait a second. Hold on. So
I guess at house shows and shit, she's been showing up too. With
is this a rumor or is this a fact?
No, at house shows she's been showing up at house shows with the Undisputed Era.
Huh. Interesting.
The T-shirt and everything.
Wow.
Who's she married to? Not Kyle. Who's she married to?
Roderick Strong is her husband.
Roderick Strong. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Roddy Strong. Yeah. That's her
husband. They do need a female in that stable.
I mean, listen, if I was a pro wrestler, Vance, and I was in NXT, I would want to be in the Undisputed Era too. Just saying.
Oh, they're the cool kids. They're the cool, like NWO.
I mean, they're the cool kids. Listen, okay? Y'all need some female touch to y'all's stable, and I think that I can help with that.
Is she good?
Marina Shafir?
I'm trying to think if I've seen her. Like, she did a tag match last week, I think, right?
Vance, we've seen her and Jessamine Duke do tag matches together, and I feel like they're not ready yet. I don't think they're ready.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they still need to work on themselves and work on their in-ring work. Let me rephrase. Let me be more specific.
I was gonna say work on themselves.
That's
meditation.
No, that's why that's why I rephrased what I just said. They need to work on they need to practice their in-ring work. They need to work on their technical skills.
Yeah.
And then they can be ready. Because I don't honestly, if you told me, hey, 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen, and they kind of like alluded to that. Remember the 4. I truly don't believe that Jessamine and Marina are ready for that at all. I think
definitely not Jessamine.
Yeah, no. So interesting that you're telling me this is the first I've heard this, that Marina Shafir has been showing up with the Undisputed Era. I mean, it makes sense. Her husband's in it. Does it mean that that's the end of the 4 horsewomen? I don't think so. I'm trying to think. Was there ever a time where someone was a part of 2 different stables?
Let's think. It's got to be an NWO guy that was in both. Oh, at the same time, though?
Yeah.
Or just 2 different stables?
No, at the same time.
Yeah. Rick Rude was on a Nitro and a Raw at the same time because the Raw was taped. and he was in the NWO, and he was in DX on the same night at the same time.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's
the only example I can think of.
So
I'm sure some New Japan shit that like they're in Bullet Club and they're also in like fucking, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, to answer your question, because you initially asked me if that means that like, are we not going to see the world? I don't think that's true, just because of that little thing.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think we're going to see 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen anytime soon. I think
maybe Survivor Series or something like that.
Now, does that mean that Shayna Baszler couldn't or wouldn't move up to the main roster just because the other 2 aren't ready? Not necessarily true. I think if Shayna were to move to the main roster, you know, it's still possible for the other 2 to be left behind. But I feel like the 3 of them,
I think they should.
What?
I think they should be left behind.
So
here's the thing: if Ronda leaves after WrestleMania, and you send Shayna up to the main roster, now you have like your legit tough bitch.
Yeah.
So like, does she really need a posse?
I guess not.
Like, not really.
If she moves to the main roster and Ronda's still there, then yeah, you got 2 tough bitches. So it's like, it works.
The thing is, like, there's no real stables in the main roster.
No.
Like, you got the New Day and like, what else? That's it, right?
That's it.
The New Day is the only thing I can think of.
And the New Day, really, it's like we've mentioned before.
And the Shield.
Oh, wait, there's a Shield. Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas NXT, you got Team Japan, you got fucking the Forgotten Sons. Like, you have a ton.
There's a bunch.
Yeah.
There's a bunch on NXT.
Yeah.
There's like
even with the women.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yep. That's true.
But yeah, so I know it kind of just jumped into the news there with the Marina Shafir thing. Should we go into the news?
Let's just go into the news now that we're here. And Vance, it's time for the news.
And now the news. On papers. Okay. Well, there's not a lot of news this week, so I can fucking remember it all. So Undertaker is scheduled to appear at the Saudi Arabia shows this year. So he isn't done with WWE, obviously, even though he's coloring outside the lines a lot.
How many of these Saudi Arabian shows are they going to be doing?
Okay, so after I looked up that news item, I said, you know what, Vance, a good journalist, no pun intended for the Saudi Arabia thing, would look up, what is this Saudi Arabia deal? So apparently, it is a 10-year deal.
10 years?
Each show, they'll make anywhere from $20 to $40 million. And they're doing
fucking Christ almighty.
2 shows a year, Cruz. They're making at least $50 million a year just off the Saudi Arabia shows.
Wow.
So it's like a $400 million deal. So, of course, Undertaker's like, yeah, I guess I'll do that.
So when is this next Saudi Arabian show?
I don't know if they let me see if they announced the date.
But that is the show that you said that the Undertaker is confirmed to be attending.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. Okay, so May 3rd is the next Saudi Arabian show.
Wow. Okay.
And it confirms the Undertaker as a featured wrestler. Also in the news, Titan Towers, Stamford, Connecticut, WWE headquarters, is moving into a bigger and better building, apparently, like a huge ass fucking production studio building. So really? Titan Towers is moving in 2021, I believe. That's it.
Wow, 2021. So 2 years from now still. Dang.
Well, he's got to do the XFL shit in there too, you know.
Of course.
He's got some stuff to do. Also in the news, we had 2 new signings to NXT. Shane Strickland, a.k.a. Killshot from Lucha Underground.
Killshot! Okay, sorry, go on.
You're the black Lucha?
Yes.
Lucha? Okay. Yeah, he
Did you just say
signed.
blue chip? Okay, anyways.
And there was this other guy, Garza Jr., who I have not heard of. He's a luchador as well. They're signing a lot of luchas.
Wow. Okay.
So you got those two guys coming to NXT.
Wow.
Other than that,
not much else in the news, huh, Vance?
Not a lot going on. I mean, Sting did an interview where he said the one person that would take him out of retirement would be The Undertaker.
Whoa!
Dude, but would you really want to see that match now?
Not really.
No. It's like, what do they got to fight in their wheelchairs? That's all for the news.
That's all for the news.
The Miz is doing a. You know what's really interesting? So, I was thinking, like, WrestleMania is in New York, and there are chances for inclement weather in New York. So apparently, I'm not the only one who Googled this, and the WWE is building a heated ring. So the ring will maintain 75 degrees. So they are putting the show on no matter what, rain, snow, and like it's shitty here, dude. Like it rained all day today. So like it's gonna be in April. Sucks here.
That's like 3 weeks from now, dude. Like
dude, April showers. That's what April's known for.
Yeah. Ooh.
April Golden Showers. That was her name.
Oh, really?
Anyways, on that note.
Sounds like April. Okay, well, you mentioned Sting, so I kind of want to go. You know, I posted. I said in the beginning of the show that I put up a poll on our Twitter fans at Going Over Pod, and I asked the Going Over universe, who do you miss the most on the road to WrestleMania? And the only options I gave were The Undertaker, John Cena, and an option to list who they actually miss. Right?
Okay.
66% Vance, okay? 66% said The Undertaker.
Oh my God. Really?
18% said John Cena, while the remaining 16% listed other people. And it's funny that you mentioned Sting because Turtle Boo on Twitter responded saying Edge or Sting, but as long as I see my current favorites, I'm usually good.
Well, Edge is retired due to a neck injury, so
I
don't think we'll be seeing him anytime soon. But we're seeing his wife.
That's probably more of a fantasy for him. Mr. Monarez, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Mr. Monarez on Twitter says, would be nice to see the vets on the road to Mania. Austin, Taker, Cena, etc. But at Mania, the next generation needs to shine for the future to be bright. Ooh la la.
I think I had a Spanish teacher named Mr. Monarez.
Let's see here. Pro Models Worldwide responded saying, haven't seen the video, but my faves growing up were Eddie Guerrero and Macho Man Randy Savage. Ric Flair, and then he said Ric Flair. Then he said Ric Flair, Nature Boy's still here. Woo!
Oh, he thought dead people.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Like I said, I think people are misunderstanding my question and are kind of giving like fantasy bookings here. You know what I mean? Because obviously,
I would love to see Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. Someone else said.
Macho Man.
Someone else actually. Okay, the real Chris G actually tweeted back in response and tagged JR saying JR's barbecue calling the action. Because you know his Twitter feed is at JR's barbecue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
BBQ. And then Terry Johnson says, gotta be honest, Annie, I don't miss any of them. Roll with who you got now and let some of that younger talent shine.
Yeah, I agree with that guy. Terry Johnson.
Yeah. Of course. I agree too. But interesting to see what the Going Over universe had to say about that. Because, you know, like we said in the beginning, you think WrestleMania, you think Undertaker, right? Or John Cena. And we haven't really seen much of either of them, excuse me. And given like the weirdness that's happening with, you know, Kurt Angle saying that, you know, Baron Corbin's going to be and everybody's just like, why not Cena? You know,
dude, people are
why
like,
not Cena? People are even saying, why not The Rock? You know?
Did you see the meme? The meme I posted?
Which one?
With the guy and the girl in bed, and the girl's like, he's probably thinking about other girls, and he's like, fucking Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Like, yes, this meme right here, Vance.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
So good. So I'm going to Raw on Monday. Do you think I'll see The Undertaker?
Oh my God.
Or John Cena? John Cena's a Boston guy.
Dude, that's good. That's a good point. You know, for your sake, Vance, I really hope that this Raw is like better than this week's Raw.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
You might see. Maybe you will see John Cena. Maybe.
I think I'm gonna see John Cena. But WWE is like really shitty with surprises lately, and they announce things way beforehand.
No, I was just gonna say. I feel like if he was gonna be there, they would have announced it. You know,
they'd announced John Cena, right?
They did that last time. Remember the last time? Oh, yep. John Cena's return when ratings are really low. They
and the Roman Reigns thing.
Yep, they announced John Cena to return to Raw and SmackDown. It wasn't even just, you know, like either or, like he returned to both. So it's like, I feel like if he were to show up to Raw on Monday, they probably would have announced it. But who knows?
Yeah.
I feel like given how shitty this week's Raw was, you'd think that they probably would make some other announcement to like kind of make up for it, but I don't know.
They haven't announced anything for that show.
Do you have good seats, fans? Do you have good seats?
Dude, I got floor seats. Row 5, baby. Row 5. Hard camera. Camera.
That is awesome. Awesome.
I'm stoked. I can't wait. I'm pretty excited. Even though this week sucked.
Yeah.
That's why I called you. I called you. I'm like, Cruz, I'm sad.
I was like, I'm going to cry with you, Vance.
Am I going to go to a shitty show?
No, it'll probably be hopefully better. Hopefully they realize.
We're 2 weeks from WrestleMania. There's this Raw, and then there's one more Raw after. So
wait,
fucking
2 weeks?
You got.
You're right. I mean, no. You're right. You're absolutely fucking right.
3 weeks or 2? It is 2, right? This week and then next week.
Well, because next weekend is the 30th. Yeah. So it's gonna be 2. Yeah. We're 2 weeks away.
So they have a lot of matches to fill.
Yeah, right now there's really,
unless they're saving this fucking hour-long gauntlet bullshit again.
Vance, I think you might have hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's possible. They put Kofi through it twice now, and it's like, what more are they gonna put this guy through?
Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Special guest referee Kofi, Daniel Bryan,
and also
Donald Trump.
I even just remembered too. Not only did he do the 2 gauntlet matches, he did the Elimination Chamber match. So it's like they put him through all these multiple So,
dude, what's going through your head if you're Mustafa Ali? Was this all your opportunity?
Dude.
Poor Mustafa.
Yeah, especially because the last time we saw him, the last time. I'm done.
That's Mufasa.
I'm done. Jesus Christ. No, but what was I gonna say?
Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali didn't really get that good of a reception when we saw him last, remember?
Well, because Kofi Mania. He got overshadowed big time.
Yep.
So, I will be live Instagramming from Raw Monday before the show. I'm not an asshole fucking during the show filming things like a jagoff.
Are you referencing when I videotaped something?
You took pictures, Cruz. Those people who film, do they know it's televised? They film the whole fucking thing.
Okay, that's gay.
Yeah. Okay. And on that note, this podcast is going over, baby.
I'm putting my Velveteen Dream specs on.
I love those. Those are sick.
They're not purple or anything, but you know.
Those are great.
TREAM.
You look very educated. The dream. The dream.
Dream over, baby. Dream over. Well, Vance, I think this podcast is going over. And hopefully next week we will have better sports news and entertainment to report. Hopefully you have a better time. Hopefully your Raw is a better time than this past Raw?
I'm fucking praying. I'm praying every night.
Vance,
I'm taking my Hulk Hogan vitamin. We can find me everywhere at That Guy Vance on the Twitter, on the Tinder, on the Bumble, on the Instagram,
Plenty
on the
of Fish,
LinkedIn,
Match.com,
Farmers Only, Black People Meet.
Wait, what's that one that's for the Jewish? What was it? What's that?
J Swipe. J Swipe.
Yeah, J Swipe.
Where little people do the mazel tov when you match.
Seriously? Is that what happens when you're in?
Yeah. Yeah, when you get a match, it goes mazel tov, and it does this guy in the chair and lifted. And then you start talking to the girl, and you're like, "What the fuck are we celebrating?" Anyway, Cruz, where can we find you on the medias of the socials?
On the medias of the social, you can find me at Annie fucking Cruz on Twitter and at Annie Cruz on the gram. Of course, you can find us at Going Over Podcast on Instagram and at Going Over Pod on the Twitter machine. And I think on that note, Vance, this is Cruz, the motherfucking crusher, going over and out.
And this is Vance the Acquitted. I'm not a crook.
I am not a crook.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.